This video is brought to you by the Battlezoo Bestiary and Jewel of the Indigo Isles. This three-part adventure path written by Paizo veterans Patrick Rennie, Ron Lundeen, and Linda Zayas-Palmer promises pirates, dragons, and treasure hunting on the high seas. Join the campaign today at kickstarter.rollforcombat.com. Hey everybody, Dave here with another Pathfinder rule reminder for you, and this one's going to be a follow-up to my previous rule reminder that was about the differences between an elixir and a potion, and that video generated a bit of conversation in the comments section that I think called for some clarification, and that's what I'm going to try to perform in this video as a follow-up. So in that video, we talked about one of the key differences between an elixir and a potion being that potions are magical and therefore can be affected by spells like Dispel Magic, and elixirs are not magical and therefore are not subject to effects like Dispel Magic. And that generated questions about can you cast Dispel Magic on a potion, and yes, I mean, you can. I'm not going to go into all the rules of counteracting here, because that's a really complex topic. I'll make sure I'll leave a link to my other videos on counteracting in the description if you want details on how that works. But that's actually not the key point I was trying to make in the video. It's not so much that you can render a potion inert from Dispel Magic, is that you can remove the effects applied by that potion. So for example, if we look at two similar items, let's take a look at a potion of leaping and a leaper's elixir. Both of these are liquid consumables that when you drink, they apply some sort of benefit to you, give you an effect that helps you in leaping, although they do it in different ways. The potion of leaping is magical. It has the magical trait, and when you consume it, it applies the effects of a first level jump spell that lasts for 1 minute. A leaper's elixir has the alchemical and elixir traits, does not have any of the 5 key traits that signal that something is magical, therefore it is not magical. So if someone was to drink a potion of leaping, then for 1 minute, if someone wanted to, they could cast Dispel Magic on that person to remove the effects of that potion, to remove the jump spell benefits from them. But if someone was to drink a leaper's elixir, not magical, then you could not cast Dispel Magic on them to remove the benefits, the effect that is applied by that elixir. Another question that popped up in the comments was about the very few elixirs that do have traits that correspond to one of the 7 schools of magic. For example, the Mistform Elixir, it is alchemical, it has the elixir trait, but it also has the illusion trait. So if it has the illusion trait, and the illusion trait refers to the school of magic of illusion, then wouldn't that make the Mistform Elixir a magical item? There are 2 different schools of thought on this, and it kind of comes down to how you interpret what the illusion trait stands for. So I'll give you both of the schools of thought, and you can make your own determination for your table. The first school of thought is that the book says that alchemical items are not magical, they do not radiate magical auras. They say that in several places, and they do call out that sometimes an alchemical item may have an effect that sort of resembles magic, but it's still not magic. And they would look, and people who subscribe to this school of thought would look at Mistform Elixir and say is not magical. So that might raise the question of, well, what is the purpose of having the illusion trait there if it's not to say that this is an illusion spell? And those traits largely deal with mechanics of the game that want to show you what interact with different spells, effects, and other abilities. So by putting the illusion trait on the Mistform Elixir, you're just saying, if you drink a Mistform Elixir, you are going to be subject to anything that interacts with the illusion trait. This is now considered an illusion effect. So for example, if you look at the True Seeing spell, True Seeing, it lets you see the reality behind any effect that has either the illusion or transmutation trait in it. So this is just saying that someone who uses true seeing will see through the effect of misformed elixir and not be subject to the effects of that provide concealment. And that's what it's saying here with misformed elixir. It's not saying that it is magical, it is saying that it is an illusion effect that is subject to anything that interacts with the illusion effect. So that is school of thought number one. Now, the second school of thought is that any rule that is specific is going to trump a general rule. So if someone views the illusion trait, because the illusion trait says that it is associated with the illusion school of magic, if you believe that that means that it makes it magic, then this would be a case of a specific rule trumping the broader, more general rule, and in that case, you would treat the misformed elixir as being magical. For whatever it is worth, I subscribe to the first category. I believe that this is a case of the trait being used for the sake of mechanics, in that anything with the illusion trait does not automatically become magical. But again, it's a little bit of fuzzy wording. It's going to be open to interpretation, and every group and every table can manage things however they believe is most appropriate. So that's it, just some quick clarifications from follow-up on the previous video on elixirs and potions. As always, if you have any other questions or comments, please leave those beneath this video. If you have suggestions for future rule reminders, please share those as well. I'll make sure that I leave links in the description of this video to counteracting and anything else that could be of value for further information about this topic. And as always, I want to take a quick moment to say thank you to everybody out there who supports me by liking these videos, leaving comments, sharing the videos with your friends, subscribing to the channel or to the Patreon. I appreciate everything you folks do to support me. And with that, thanks for watching. Take care and happy gaming.